Record
No,
button's pressed. Does it say
recording.
recording? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I will start. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the UnNamed Podcast and episode 18. And me and Phoebe's very last minute May the 4th Star Wars podcast, because shout out to Billy Fife, who was supposed to be on here, who up until yesterday I had never spoken to before. But he had an Instagram story about all the Star Wars merch, and I texted him saying, "Oh, that's all cool stuff there." And then I was like, "Oh, we should do a podcast," and he said yes. But then he had a last minute thing to go to. So
What a nightmare.
then I messaged Phoebe, and she was like, "Ah, of course I will."
I'll just yeet myself on.
Yeah, we just yeeted this together, like. So it is indeed May the 4th, and all. Do you have Disney Plus, Phoebe? I can't remember if you said you have or not.
No, unfortunately not.
But all the films and everything is on Disney Plus at the minute, so we thought it would be a good time to have a wee chat about all things Star Wars for the boys. Oh, I can see the Stormtrooper box in the background there.
Yes, that's my box with all my DVDs in it. I do have the DVDs, so I can watch them.
Class. So, do you want to do a very quick intro of who Phoebe Love is for anyone who doesn't know?
Hi, I am Phoebe Love. I'm from Derry, London Derry. We'll not get political on this podcast. I don't know what else to say. I've got a dog called Samba. I love Star Wars. It's some jab.
It is some jab.
See, whenever people be like, introduce yourself, that's when my brain just go and follow me on YouTube and Instagram. I also make videos. She
does, and they're very good.
Sick bids, bro.
Let me get a wee drink of water here.
That is massive. What size is it?
Like 2 liters. Does you all day, like.
I have never seen a flask that big before.
So when I was working on Argos, I got it to like last me all day because I had that blue one I had, and it only lasted like an hour. So I thought, let's get one to last all day, sure.
I would just be like, let's just fill it up more often.
Yeah, well, the fill up place was like miles away. It was like the very back of Sainsbury's, so that wasn't that feasible. So I had written down a wee plan, but we can do it in a different order if you want. So
I mean, I'm game for anything.
We were going to do first, like our first memory of Star Wars, or the first thing we watched, and then I had our thoughts on each trilogy, and then questions like from Instagram. But we can do it in whatever order you want.
No, I don't mind. That sounds good.
Okay, so what was the first thing, if you can remember, that you watched all of Star Wars, Phoebe Love?
That's my name. Don't wear it out, Mark. Don't wear it out. I remember, to be fair, I didn't watch Star Wars as a kid. I watched it maybe when I was about 13. Like, I mean, I was still a kid, like, but I mean, not a young kid.
Yeah.
I remember it was still on TV, and we were like, we'll just watch it. It was like on TV where it was on a Sunday. So like, the first one would be on a Sunday, and then the next one, then the next one, then the next one, then the next one, like each Sunday as the weeks went on.
Was this the movies?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The earliest memory I think I have was actually, I don't think I told you this, but I went to see Star Wars 3, Revenge of the Sith in Derry.
Here.
And
what age were you?
I was 9, just turned 9. So,
wow.
And like everyone was dressed up. Like I had never seen that before. Like, I mean, there's a good few people dressed up, and normally people dress up at conventions, but not in the cinema. So that was kind of an interesting first experience. And then I think Lego Star Wars came out the same year.
Okay.
So I definitely played that a bit. And then, yeah. Well, I probably watched episode 1 and 2 before 2005, but I can't remember. So
you're a real OG, like.
Because if you can see on my left, we have 3 videotapes.
Oh, yes.
But for some reason, I have 2 copies of Phantom Menace. And I don't know how that came about.
So, what one do you not have the video of?
Well, Revenge of the Sith, but it's on DVD.
Oh, okay. Well.
So, yeah. And then after that, I don't think I watched the original ones till maybe a couple of years later, and then that was when I really got into it.
I'm pretty sure the order they played on the TV was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
All right, yeah,
which is probably why now I prefer watching them in that order. Maybe, I don't know.
yeah. I have a really random order that I would recommend people to watch them in.
Mark.
So,
of course you do.
4. You start off with number 4.
Okay.
Then 5.
Uh-huh.
And then spoilers. Because Darth Vader then reveals himself as Luke's dad, you go back and then watch 1 to 3.
Okay.
And then you watch episode 6.
Okay.
You get like the build up of Anakin and Obi-Wan becoming friends, and then like the whole emotion at the end of 6 makes more sense because you've watched the first 3.
That's a good point. Like, it's random, but it's a good point.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. Like, it's probably, I don't think anyone's going to do it. Like, but that's what I'd recommend.
You never know.
And then, were you always really into Star Wars, or did it like dip or grow?
I think like I was that person, like whenever I seen something for the first time and I really liked it, I became obsessed with it. Like the same thing happened with Lord of the Rings. Like the first time I seen it, I was just obsessed afterwards. Yeah. So like I would say like I obsessed for ages, and then I guess I've always pretty much like loved it. Like it would just kind of peak and trough.
Yeah.
like every now and again. But it would be when people say what's your favorite movie, I would always say like Star Wars would always be up there.
Yeah, I would say Star Wars, but I couldn't really pick the best one. I don't think I have a favorite like obvious one, but
yeah.
So yeah, watch the prequels. No, the original ones a couple years after the originals, and then I watched the originals a couple years after the prequels, and that's what I got onto it. And then Star Wars came back in like 2014 with Disney, and then I would say probably The Force Awakens was probably the most hyped I've ever been for a film.
Yeah,
and that was great seeing it. And then The Last Jedi was a great night because like 14 of us from uni went to see it. But like the first time I seen it, I hated that one, so that was kind of a weird moment. Yeah, I really didn't like it. It was like too confusing and weird. So, and then Rise of Skywalker is, I mean, it's grand. It's good enough. Like,
yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
there's some bits where you were like, that was unnecessary, but it was good.
Yeah, cool. Right. What have I got next? We kind of covered both step 1 and step 2 there. In one
Mark, why did you make these 2 different steps?
I don't know. Like, so let's jump on to some Instagram questions.
Ew.
Let's see. Right. First one I got today comes from Jeepers. Ruben Black 97. Shout out to McGee. See you.
I don't know who that is, but I'll shout them out.
He's a great Go on, Ruben. Like, he asks, how many lightsabers appear in the films?
Oh, what? That's like a quiz question.
Aye. So I think we could quickly go through each one and work it out. Uh-huh. So episode 1, you have Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul. So that's 3. Number 2, you have Anakin has like a blue one at the start, which is different from his actual one. Then you have Obi-Wan's new one. I think he has a new one in it. So that's 5.
Wait, I'm at 6.
6? Okay, we'll go with 6.
Because Anakin has 2.
Yeah, we'll count his one for Revenge of the Sith as well. So that's 2. Okay. So that's 6. And then you've Yoda. Count Dooku. Then you've got about 30 Jedis at the end of episode 2. So
let's just add 30.
That's 38. And then, okay, Revenge of the Sith, you've got Darth Sidious, his one. Then you've got Mace Windu, purple. Then you've got those 2 random No, 3 random boys who Emperor Palpatine kills in that one scene. So what's that?
43.
43. Okay. I think that's all of them. And then Rogue One, you've got Darth Vader's right at the very end. There's none in Solo, I don't think. No, well, you have Darth Maul's new one actually at the very end.
Oh wow, we're fairly racking them up here.
Yeah, episode 4. There's no new ones technically. 5. There's no new ones again. And then 6, you've got Luke's green one. Then 7, you've got Kylo Ren's. 8, you've got no new ones again. I don't think. And then number 9, we have Rey's gold one at the end.
And then, well, I can't remember her name. Leia.
Oh yes, she has one. So what is that?
50.
50 exactly?
Yeah.
There you go, Ruben. 50 lightsabers.
If you want like challenges, I dare you to.
Yeah, just watch the films there, sure, in their entirety and come back to us. Next question comes from _ Graham Reed.
Oh.
He says, what is the point of Star Wars?
Well, I'll have you know, Graham Reed, that there is a point.
And it's whatever you want that point to be.
Uh-huh.
So, there you go.
You watch it and you just let the beauty of it unfold. It can mean whatever you want.
Amen. Powerful answer there. Next question comes from Jeebers. Source Studios.
Oh yes.
He says, "Why wasn't I invited to the podcast?"
That's awkward.
Because he hasn't seen any of them. So I mean,
why on earth would he want to be invited?
I don't know. This would have been a very boring chat if he came on.
What a nightmare.
And then someone called Phoebe _love says C3PO or R2D2. That's a tough one. But I think R2D2 has to win.
Are you gonna? I was gonna say C3PO.
Oh really? Why?
I just think he's well funny. Just the way he reacts to everything. I just love it.
He is a bit rare, but
yeah.
R2D2 can fly and can he's got so much versatility, you know.
Yeah, I mean the amount of times
gadgets
R2D2 is saved the day almost.
He's pretty much the main character, really. I mean,
he deserves his own movie.
He does. Another question from Phoebe _love is R2D2 or BB-8?
I would go R2 there.
Yeah, I think that's a bit closer than C3PO, but yeah, BB-8's a pretty cool lad as well. Another question from Phoebe Love, because I didn't ask her to send in a lot, is how did you feel about Rey and Kylo's kiss? I didn't like it.
I didn't. I was like,
well, no,
why
that
is
was
this
what
happening?
you said in the question.
Oh.
Not my answer.
Whoops.
So you didn't like it, no?
I just thought, I was like, why did that happen? I was just like, why? To me, it didn't make sense.
Well, I suppose they weren't it wasn't obvious they were in love or anything, but there was a wee bit of build up over 3 films, so at least it didn't come out of nowhere. That's what I would say. Next question from Phoebe is opinions on Jar Jar Binks. My opinion is that he's probably the worst character ever created for a film. He's just so daft.
Mista. I love it. So the first time I seen it, I hated him. I was like, he is so annoying. And then the second time I watched it, I was like, I actually love him. So now I like him.
He's a rare titlick. Okay, last question from Phoebe is, if you could change the plot slightly to any of the movies, what would you change and why? That's a great question.
I mean, for me, that was kind of driven by the whole kiss question.
Oh, really? Would you just take it out completely?
Yeah, I would just remove it.
Yeah. I would probably say don't have Palpatine in episode 9. Because because he just like came back with no explanation.
Yeah, that's a
And it was
good
kind
point.
of a bit random. That's the one that comes to mind in a way.
But then how would you work everything else out?
Like you would just make Kylo Ren the main villain,
Okay, yeah.
or else you wouldn't kill Snoke, and then he could be the villain again. Maybe that's
Okay.
how you could change it.
Yeah.
Or you could just remove Jar Jar. That would do good help, like to all the films.
And the whole thing would just flow better. It would just
It
make
would
sense.
okay, this one comes from first a Hawkle Youth, which is actually Stephen McGall,
Okay.
but he didn't realize he was sending it from his church's youth account.
The entire youth are asking us the question.
Yeah, they must have been like. So his one says, "What's your favorite moment in the Star Wars saga?"
Oh.
This is one of those ones where you almost can't choose
Yeah.
because there's so many good ones.
Hmm.
The first one that springs to me for mind is probably when Luke looks at the binary sunset on the farm, and the music is just so good.
I like whenever. So Chewbacca just gets. I just get Chewbacca. I
Yeah.
like him.
A big dog. Like, you just love dogs, so I suppose a big one.
He's a
Big
dog
one.
hybrid. So like, so the moment when like he thought he was dead in
yeah,
the new movies, and then he was just there. I was like,
you.
hilarious. He's not
You froze there for a few
So,
seconds,
I
and I
like
was
it,
freaking
yeah.
out in case it switched off.
Oh, jeepers, no.
So
No.
Chewbacca not being dead.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, it was good. Good times.
Adam Dalzell comes in with the next two questions. First one is, what's your top 3 favorite locations featured in the movies or spin-offs?
Ooh.
Oh, and he also added it can be a planet, a moon, an interior of somewhere, so it can really be anything.
I would definitely the Millennium Falcon. Just
yeah.
inside it. I like it. I like the planet. I always forget what it's called. Where the wee wickets live. The green planet.
Oh, Endor.
Yes, I like that. Just because it's green and the wickets live there. Also, dog hybrids.
The Wickets?
Yeah, are they not called wickets?
One of them's called Wicket, but they're all called Ewoks.
Oh,
Don't worry, it was close.
what am I? Oh, well, you know what I meant. A third. I mean, inside the Death Star is pretty cool. I wouldn't want to be in it, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Endor,
I'll say
then,
inside the Death Star. Yeah.
I would say Dagobah is pretty cool. Yoda's gaffs, class, like.
Obviously, Yoda lives there.
And the wee soup he makes looks unreal.
What's the song? Whatever.
Something about seagulls.
It's so funny.
If you haven't seen that, people watching, search like Yoda bad lip reading. It's hilarious.
It's well good.
So Dagobah, and then I really like in episode 8, you know, like the throne room with the big red like background where they fight at the end.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's a pretty cool room. And then the like the Jedi Council room, like the big circle with all the chairs. I think that's a cool room as well. So that's probably my 3 favorite.
Those are
next question. Yeah. Next question comes from Kaz McFaz, also known as Karen. She says, what actually is Order 66? So I've been watching the Clone Wars, which is like the animated thing.
I haven't watched that before.
Yeah, I had never watched it before, and it came out years ago. but because it's on Disney Plus, I've been watching it. So they have this like all the clones have like a wee like chip thing that's in their brain, which like makes them for when Emperor Palpatine says Order 66, then that wee chip inside their head activates, and then that's why they all turn evil.
I feel educated.
Yeah, so there you go.
I did not know that.
And the next question is why don't they have Spock in the new films?
In the new, who asked that?
That was Karen again.
What are asking?
I think probably just contract issues. He probably just wants too much money. So that is all the
Can I cope with
questions
these
asked.
stars these days?
Those are some good questions. Like, what's next? Next is outro. But if we want to chat some more, we can do something else apart from the outro, because I suppose we might as well make the most use of the half an hour you have.
Yeah. Do you have a theme tune
for the podcast?
Yeah.
No.
We could make a theme tune.
Like with our voices?
Yeah.
I don't really want to do that, to be honest. I have a wee keyboard in my room. I'll make a wee jingle after this.
You actually should.
I should,
I'd like
well,
that.
if you want to do like the voiceover, then I'll put the voiceover over the jingle of the keyboard.
What would I say?
I don't know. Just say the UnNamed Podcast in the most daftest voice you can.
In the most what voice?
Daftest. I don't know, like
the UnNamed Podcast. Nah. I think Peter would be better at this.
Yeah, he would probably.
I don't wanna take a job that clearly he would be better at.
Yeah, I'll get working on that jingle. Right. What were we trying
I love
to
how
do
you
next?
have like it all planned out though.
Yeah, it took a wee while to set this all up behind me.
Why don't you go through some of the stuff and tell us?
That's a good shout. Okay. On this side we have we have Yoda boy, but so his left or right eye is like worn off.
As I was going to say, he's missing an eyeball.
And I mean, I don't remember scratching it off.
Paint it back on.
I don't really know how that's happened. Next, which fell on the ground, is Revenge of the Sith DVD.
Not videotaped DVD.
But then we have, I'll not lift them over. We have one copy of Attack of the Clones on video.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have 2 copies of The Phantom Menace on video.
Okay.
I don't know why we have 2 of those. Next up here is Finn with his Force Awakens clothes on.
He thinks he's class.
A lightsaber. I mean, that's probably the most normal clothes anyone's ever worn in a Star Wars film.
Also while holding a lightsaber, like.
Yeah, it's just got like Slazenger bottoms on and a Slazenger black t-shirt. And next, we have the Star Wars Alien Archive book.
Oh, wow.
Which I have not really read yet, but it looks pretty good. Then we have a wee Stormtrooper boy here. Mm-hmm. He's quite heavy. He's a good wee, well-made wee figure thing. Then we have Kylo Ren here. Then behind him, we have BB-8 with his Christmas scarf on.
Look at
because he got it at Christmas, and then Mum made a scarf, blue and white, for R2D2. And then we had to get R2D2, and we had to get him a scarf, but she kind of made it red and white instead of orange and white. But I'll let Mum slide with that one.
Let her off with this once. Just don't do it again.
And then we have, a cheeky wee lightsaber.
What color is it?
Well, it's blue. I don't think it really works anymore.
Oh.
Oh, it does actually. It's probably
noises.
like 15 years old. It's still going.
That's a proper.
next.
Like I like the handle on that.
Yeah, it's a good job now. Well, we've R2D2 in the background there. Then we have Funko Pop Luke Skywalker from The Last Jedi.
Look at that head bubble.
He's loving it. Like. Then we have The Force Awakens and Last Jedi Blu-ray.
Oh, Blu-ray, fancy.
Then we have the original trilogy Dividends.
Whoa.
Dividends.
Not dividends.
Another Yoda. He kind of looks a bit weird, like, doesn't he? He's a weird face.
Is it a teddy?
Yeah, it's like a wee boy eye.
Oh, that's cute. That's
one
a
of his eyes,
eye,
like, yeah, it's a bit. There's something wrong with him. Like.
He's got a lazy eye.
Then finally we have Phil. Then we have another. We have a stormtrooper head mask pillow.
Oh, pillow.
Yeah.
But
there's plenty of other Star Wars merch around the house, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like what I have about my room. I only have. Oh no, I've got 2 Star Wars. Oh, the Porgs. Forgot to mention them. I love them. I've got a pop of them, and then I've got Chewbacca like tangled up in Christmas lights.
Happy days.
Because the crack way untangling the Christmas lights.
Yeah, when I have enough disposable income, I want to get one of those like proper lightsabers. The ones that cost a ridiculous amount of money, because that would be
when I have enough disposable income.
when I am fully adult.
Oh, jeepers.
Because they're wild cool.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can't really tell it's on.
Yeah, I have one, but it's like very small and very thick, and I don't really like it that much.
Yeah. Oh, I also have a lightsaber spoon for cereal, but it's in the kitchen. So I just remember about that there now.
Have you ever seen I really want the BB-8, right? That's remote control, and it rolls about. I think they're class.
That's what I wanted for Christmas, but no. I just got the one. Well, it's that one there, but it just has a wheel on the bottom.
Oh,
So it just goes forward, but the actual ball doesn't roll.
Okay.
But the actual remote control one does.
Oh.
But
I mean,
I'll not complain too much.
You win some, you lose some.
You do. Yeah, I think that's all. Pretty much all. There's a Star Wars calendar there. So
you can't really tell, I don't think.
It's R2D2, but the sun's blocking him.
The sun's shining.
Yeah, but I think that's all the merch I have, to be honest.
I once did this competition that Toys R Us were doing, and you like got a picture. It was like, where's Wally? But only like it was each planet. Like every week they had a different planet, and you had to like find like a certain amount of characters on this planet, and then you took it to Toys R Us and like cashed it in for like a medal.
Class.
But bear in mind, I was like 17. So I got Endor, but that was about it. I was too scared to go back because I was being judged.
Yeah. Suppose we should talk about Baby Yoda.
I really want to see.
He is.
I want to see it. Like, have you seen it?
Yeah, I watched it illegally.
Mark.
Sorry, a few months ago. Don't
What would you rate it?
Probably something fell over. Sorry. Probably give The Mandalorian like an 8.5.
Oh, that's high.
Yeah, it's really good. There's a couple episodes which are a bit like boring, but it is pretty cool overall. So Baby Yoda's just an absolute lad.
Is that Yoda the actual Yoda?
No, it's just his species.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I seen some people say that it was, and then some people say it wasn't. I was like, I gotta find the source.
Yeah, people seem to be confused, like if it was actually Yoda, but at that point, Yoda was dead. So
R.I.P.
Yeah. And then I've also been watching Star Wars Rebels, which is the other animated thing. So they're only 20 minutes long each episode, so that's been easy enough to breeze through. That's pretty good as well. And then I
Is there
also
lots of
watch.
seasons?
There's 4 seasons and there's 75 episodes.
75. Wait, 75 divided by 4. What's that? That's like nearly 20 an episode. 20 a season. That's good.
And then I also watched all the Clone Wars, but I slept through some of the episodes because I was watching them late at night and then I fell asleep on the sofa.
I woke up the next morning still on the sofa, I suppose.
Yeah, I woke up 5 episodes later. But it was pretty good as well. And they're also only 20 minutes, so it wasn't
Not
too
bad.
long to get through those.
Not bad.
It's good stuff now. I'd recommend Disney Plus now.
I am well tempted, but the funds just don't support it.
Aye, well, fair. Well, I think that will do us. Well, it was a good bit of chat and banter. Thanks for coming in to save the day, like.
No bother.
Just what Phoebe does.
I enjoyed it.
So, the next episode of the UnNamed Podcast could be next year. I mean, it's just so, like... it's just so...
Like, part of me was like, wait, is it nearly, like, the new year?
No, just the whole bringing Peter and Andrew together doesn't go well.
Aye.
So it's hard to organise, so...
Busy guys, them too.
Because we're all adults with, like, kids and everything. and they got them to primary school and all,
But see, Peter trying to get the Wednesday bed at night, I can just picture that being a handling, like.
Aye. I've heard there's been some rise, like, in the Simpson household. But yeah, before we talk any more nonsense, thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next episode. And like, subscribe, and hit all the buttons there is to hit on YouTube and Instagram or wherever this ends up. So it's goodbye from me, and
it's goodbye from me too.
Unreal. See you there, lads.
Over and out.
Great episode.
Wow.
This is now just us chatting part.
This is the outtakes.
Yeah. Behind the scenes.